In this video, I'm going to give you the exact step-by-step breakdown of a process of metabolism manipulation called metabolic priming that helped me lose 50 pounds of body fat in just 5 months. And why it's way more simple, easy, and a predictable way of losing body fat because it simply just inserts into your everyday busy lifestyle. And using this, you never have to be scared of another carbohydrate again. You never have to do tons and tons of cardio and starve yourself ever again. And you don't have to be worried about hitting another fat loss plateau ever again. So in the video, first of all, I'm going to break down a little bit of how your metabolism works and like why using metabolic priming is way more beneficial than any other diet you'll ever try, and also why it's way more predictable, right? So next, I'm gonna break down my actual metabolic priming blueprint that's based around metabolic priming and all the clients that I've went through it, client testimonials and client transformations within each process of the blueprint. And then I'm going to break down my actual transformation using metabolic priming that I lost 50 pounds in just 5 months. So at the end of the video, I'm also going to show you a little bit of an insider about how my personal training program works and all the assets and information available to all my clients to make sure they see the utmost amount of success. And then also there's going to be a link in the description with my one-on-one online coaching program where you can sign up for a time. We'll jump on a call and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. So if you're new to this channel, what's going on? My name's Adam. I'm an online fitness coach. I help successful, career-driven, busy men lose fat sustainably, keep it off for good, and get unstuck from fat loss plateaus using metabolic priming. So I've worked with over 50 men in the past, and using this process of metabolic priming has not only proven to be most simple, predictable, and easy way to lose body fat, but it's also the most sustainable because it just fits into your everyday lifestyle. So you're probably, first of all, wondering who I even am. So I'm going to give you like a quick 20-second breakdown of what I've done and what I've achieved and why you should probably listen to me, right? So here's a transformation right here from me, 222 pounds on March 14th to 173 on July 10th. Here's a transformation I made during that time. Not long after, I competed in 2 bodybuilding shows back to back and took home some good hardware in one of them as well. So before getting into fitness and before becoming an online coach, I was a Division I college athlete at Southern Illinois University, where I studied a little bit more about exercise science and nutrition. And so I got in, right, first job after college, I worked at a supplement superstore where I learned even more about supplementation, more about nutrition, exceeded my nutritional knowledge to, a 10. And then after that, I moved to Houston, Texas, where I started working out at Alphaland Gym and got to meet a bunch of cool people in the process, right? So getting right into the video, let's get started. So I just want to state real quick before I start that this video is for financially stable men who are like serious about losing body fat and getting the best shape of their life, who have been stuck in a fat loss plateau for months and can follow a proven, predictable plan for sustainable results. This training is just simply not for total beginners or someone who is unemployed, just because you simply are not where I need you to be at to, one, have the capability to afford a good gym membership and a proper nutrition program. And also, you just simply have a couple other issues rather than the clients that I typically work with. But if you are serious about using body fat, you're serious about getting unstuck from that plateau, and serious about using metabolic priming to make your life and fat loss goals way easier, make sure to watch through this whole video, and I'm going to show you literally exactly how. So before we get in the video, let's go ahead and start off how your metabolism works, right? So how your metabolism works. So your metabolism is made up of 3 different areas: basal metabolic rate, active energy expenditure, thermic effect of food, right? So your basal metabolic rate makes up 60% of your total metabolism, which is your body's essential body functions like breathing, blood flow, sleep, and organ function. So your thermic effect of food is the actual process of breaking down the food into calorie conversion. And then your active energy expenditure, which is like 25%, like walking, working out, moving around. So here's some signs that say tell that your metabolism has probably crashed a little bit. And, like a weight loss plateau, depression, fatigue, can't concentrate, low energy, insulin resistance, no sex drive, increased appetite, bad skin, bloated. And, that's kind of like one. This is why if you're stuck and you have any of those signs, that's probably why you should listen to this video and make sure to listen to it all the way through, because I'm literally going to tell you how to exactly fix all of that, right? So let's get right into what metabolic priming is. But before, we got to get to kind of what metabolic adaptation is, right? So your metabolism is the process of how your body burns energy, right? So metabolic adaptation is also called adaptive thermogenesis or diet fatigue, which means that the adaptation of your metabolism to a certain amount of calories that you're eating. So it's like the body's survival mechanism to ensure that we have enough energy to perform essential functions. It helps us in foods and survive in food times of scarcity. And so like food scarcity today comes from purposeful caloric restriction, turning energy burning into energy storage, right? So a lot of you guys right now who are in the position that you've been eating low amounts of calories for an extreme amount of time and you've been doing a tons of cardio for an extreme amount of time, what you've done is simply just lowered your metabolism and crash your metabolism, right? And so, there's a lot of fad diets out there like keto, like intermediate fasting, and, even like low carb, right? And simply, I'm sorry, you just been lied to. But it's not your fault, because those are all one size fits all programs, and you're a little bit more advanced, right? So you've been tracking you've been eating clean, you've been going to the gym, but you really haven't figured out a way to maneuver that fat loss plateau. And the thing is with metabolic adaptation is that if you start to try even harder, you're just handcuffing yourself, right? So once you reach a certain weight loss plateau, your body can reach a certain survival mode where any extra energy is stored as fat to prevent you from losing too much weight, right? Well, so how do we fix this, right? So metabolic priming, which basically is what I specialize in, right? The manipulation of cellular metabolism, turning the body from survival mode and food storage mode to burning more energy, raising your metabolic rate, right? So how do we do this correctly? So the first thing we can do is optimize your thyroid function, increase your protein, follow macros, increase muscle mass, and make sure our water and sleep is dialed in, right? So the thermic effect of food is, 3% is your thermic effect of fat, your thermic effect of carbs is 10%, but your thermic effect of protein is 30%. So typically I have my clients eating a higher protein diet because simply if you have a higher protein diet, you will have a increase of your metabolism from an increase of muscles calorie conversion, right? So getting in kind of more into the metabolic priming blueprint, what I have for all my clients do, on their start date is first of all, we do your caloric output, your caloric intake, your goal setting, activity level, and lifestyle. And this is where I do our crystal clear goal setting, right? So there's a quote in the Bible. It's kind of stated off the mirror principle, which states, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." So in English, this means whenever you believe to be true is going to be in fact true. So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you truly think you're not capable of losing body fat, and you don't think that you can have your dream body, you simply just won't, right? But if you actually are truly look in the mirror and say, "I can do this," then you can. So that's why we get crystal clear about our goal settings, right? So next we do the caloric maintenance assessment. So we determine your BMR, determine macronutrient profile, determine activity level, and set daily goals and daily strategies. So why we set daily goals is that, one, I make it very simple and easy for my clients to follow. And I just simply set daily goals for them to structure and strategize that they just have to wake up every morning, know exactly what they need to do on a day-to-day basis to lose body fat and see progress. How nice would that be to be able to just wake up every single day, know exactly what you need to do to see progress, right? So the caloric maintenance assessment is basically I have you track your calories for, a few days, 4 to 5 days, and then I take all those calories within those 4 to 5 days and I divide them by how many days that you tracked, right? Then I can therefore, find a caloric maintenance intake, it's average for what you've already been intaking, and then I can implement you with macronutrients, right? So implement you with macronutrients, right? So implement you with a protein goal, like I said, with a higher thermic effect. I hit you with a fat goal, which fat goal is super important as well because fat goal is going to regulate your hormone levels, right? It's going to regulate T3, T4, your thyroid, your metabolism. And so having a clear fat intake and a good fat intake is going to correct hormones, and it's also going to help with a little bit of, the signs from a low metabolism, right? So then now that I have what you averagely already been intaking per day, I give you that protein goal with a higher thermic effect. I give you a fat goal to metabolize your hormonal levels, and I backfill the rest of carbohydrates to meet what you're already eating, right? So you're not going to be eating any more right off the bat than you've already been eating, but now you have structure within those. You have macronutrient structure, right? So why we track macros instead of calories is because within calories there are certain sugar, alcohols, and insoluble fibers that don't necessarily fit in the macronutrient food chain, which in turn, you just kind of excrete out, right? So we track macronutrients, right? And so if you are somebody who's never tracked macronutrients, don't know how to track macronutrients, that's perfectly fine. Within my personal training program, within the first week, I have my clients do a macro tracking masterclass, which is what should I eat? Protein, carbs, and fats. my Fitness Pal tutorial in depth, how to track macros perfectly within the 1 to 3 grams, food skills tutorial, and your flexible dieting explained tutorial. So a lot of people like are in the misconception that like you need to restrict yourself like to like lose weight, like you need to just eat chicken and rice all the time, but that's just simply not true, right? And so like flexible dieting comes into play where like one, I think in this video like I actually like track a full day of eating, like with me eating like pizza and donuts, like to show that you can hit your macronutrients by eating those foods. Obviously, I have my clients mitigate that, but what I'm showing is that you don't have to restrict yourself to one certain food group. You just have to understand macronutrients, right? And hitting certain macros. So I have my clients do, a quick macro tracking masterclass, right? So once we set your macronutrient goals that are based upon you, right? And so everything that you've tried in the past and why this is way more beneficial and way more predictable than any other thing you've tried, because it's personalized to you and what your body needs, what macronutrients your body needs. And like the people think that, it takes a long time to see progress, and that's simply just not true, right? Like, I mean, here's my client Jake. Give him simple macronutrients to follow. He's down 14 pounds, eating 400 more calories per day in his first month, right? Dude, my whole body is changing. The difference is crazy, and getting more lean and losing love handles. And then like, here's the stats to prove it. Mason down 10 pounds, 150 more calories the first 2 weeks. Addison, same weight, 205 in the first month, leaned out. Same weight, 200 versus 200. For Reese here, simply raises food, 200 calories. And here's Jake, 300 more calories up, down 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks. So like, it doesn't take very long to see progress when like you have the correct structure and the correct macronutrients, right? So now that we have the correct macronutrients, we go into the metabolic priming phase, which is like what the whole program and what I specialize in, right? So hormonal priming and body recomposition. So what do we do within the metabolic priming phase? We work on one, raising your BMR, right? Getting your body to turn from energy storing mode to energy burning mode, right? So here's kind of how it works, right? So a lot of you guys are in the position where you've been eating a little amount of calories and you've been doing tons of cardio, or maybe you haven't been doing any cardio, but your calories have been like, right here, right? So let's say that you wanted to lose weight and burn fat, right? And so, okay, like if you've been eating 2,200 calories, then you have to drop your calories a little bit right here, and then you have to raise the cardio from right here. And so like you're only like restricted to how many tools that you can use, all while your BMR is like down here, right? So instead, within the metabolic priming phase, what we do, we cut the cardio to 0, use metabolic priming and thermogenic adaptation to slowly raise the calories from 2,200 and keep the cardio low and try to get your BMR to go up as well, right? So like there's a reason why all my clients, right, are, eating 1,300 more calories, 35 pounds down, 35 pounds down, 1,200 more calories, 30 pounds down, 1,200 more calories, 50 pounds down, right? And so like even Devin right here. So Devin works as he works in finance, right? He runs a lending company. He actually just got promoted as well. But like, for instance, like he's been getting hit on dating sites. He's eating 1,300 more calories, right? So like Devin, for example, suggestions on how to add more carbs. I'm struggling with hitting that. So if you guys are in the position where like you're scared of carbs and you're eating very low amount of carbs for a very long time, like this should make you mad, right? Because Devin's struggling to actually get carbohydrates in, but like it's not your fault because you just don't know better. You've been taught wrong by society, and you've been taught like a one size fits all program and not like something that's individualized for you, right? So even have like a quick client testimonial for Devin with how he feels after hitting his eating more food and losing more calories. But like if 6 months ago, I guess I would have, someone would have told you, hey, you're going to be eating 1,500 calories more. You're going to be doing no cardio, and all that cardio that you were doing, you're going to be doing none of it. And you're going to be looking probably what you arguably say probably the best you've ever looked.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
So
And I
if someone
mean,
would,
I look better now at 30 than I did at 20. I'm almost to 3,000 calories a day. I've lost, let's see, around 30 pounds, 35
yeah.
pounds. I feel great. I look great. My confidence is also improved. I've never been happier. I haven't had any depression issues since I've been doing this. I keep getting happier with how I'm looking in the mirror. Like, I wouldn't change it. It's just wild watching me increase food week after week, and then the scale would just keep going down as well. It was great. I never would have thought. The more you eat, the more you lose.
Yeah. Right. So like a lot of people like, you're probably like very skeptical about this, right? And I completely understand because like I was too when I first thought about metabolic priming. But it's not only the most predictable, but it's super, super easy, right? Because one, you don't have to spend your time doing a bunch of cardio. You don't have to spend your time eating a low amount of calories. We slowly work your calories up. And so like I know what you're thinking right now, like isn't this like a bulk? No, it's not a bulk. Like we set you with macronutrients to give your body specifically what it needs to raise its BMR, to raise your metabolism very slowly. Like if we were doing a bulk and we just put you like right at the 4,000 calories right off the start, you gain weight really fast. Instead, you start off where you were and we slowly work you up, increasing your BMR, right? So why this process is so predictable and it's also repeatable is because this is actually Devin's second metabolic priming phase, right? So, within the metabolic priming phase, once you get up to like a certain like calories, right? So think about this, right? You get up to a certain calories. Now, let's say you're eating 3,800 calories, you're doing no cardio, and now your BMR is right here. Right? And so now that we have 3,800 calories to work with, you're doing zero cardio. Now we can go in to a structured fat loss phase, right? Which, we put you in a fat loss phase, which I personally guide you through step by step by using your calories and using your macronutrients to make sure that we lose fat but maintain muscle. And like if we hit a weight freeze, I lower add activity, weight stagnant, I actually do a structured refeed to reset your metabolism and keep your metabolism in check. So why structured refeed is important is because like the body, for example, like if it gets more calories in it, like while it's going down, your metabolism will spike a little bit for a few days and end up burning a little bit more food, keeping the metabolism intact. So there's a very structured way about doing that. But for instance, you go into structured refeed, fat loss phase, weight freeze, and let's say you get into structured refeed and like your weight freezes, right? Then you go right back into the metabolic priming phase when you get down on certain low calories in the fat loss phase, and you just repeat the whole process. So that's how Devin like literally made this transformation possible right here. And he's on his second metabolic priming phase because he lost all the weight, and now we're working him back up. We cut his cardio, and we're gonna do it all again. So that's how people are getting really, really lean. Like the people you see on social media, like that are super, super lean, like have perfect abs. This is what they're doing. They're getting the calories up in the metabolic priming process, and they're keeping their cardio low. And so when they go back down, they have more tools to work with, right? So the second reason why the metabolic priming phase is so amazing, right? So as you're gaining calories, you're doing no cardio, raising your BMR, what are you also increasing? Your muscle mass, right? So let's think about it like this, right? 50% body fat, 150 versus 180, all right? So let's say both of these images are the exact same body fat. One is 30 pounds heavier. One has 30 more pounds of muscle, right? The 15% body fat gets dispersed evenly among that surface area, making you appear to be leaner. So like take bodybuilders in their off season, for example, like they have good abs, right? Because they have the actual muscle mass and muscle maturity to get that skin and make you look and appear tighter, right? So in the metabolic priming phase, we focus on getting that BMR up, focus on weight training and getting your muscle mass up. And like here's like a couple perfect examples of like why like this is so important as well. Like Steven for here, up 900 more calories and he's 18 pounds up, right? 18 pounds up right here. So like he's just much tighter, much leaner because he has his muscle mass is pressed against his skin a lot more, right? So for instance, like I put, thank you for the tips and being so diligent in my program. I put the work in, but without your guidance on how to make this possible, right? So Mason, another great example, right? He's the same weight in both of these photos. He lost body fat and he gained muscle in the metabolic priming phase. 1,300 more calories per day. Here's a stats to prove it, right? And like he even sent me this message, and he's been hitting new PRs every single week, right? He was, he hit 275. He started with me at 225 on bench, and like here's like the pictures of how his transformation looks, and we were laughing about that as well. But here's another one, like Christian, for example. Christian, 15 pounds up, 1,000 more calories. He was showing his co-workers, and he thought he was going to be this too much, and I'm not going to be able to keep up, but I'm actually starting to feel good and like it, right? Or here, right? I thought this was gonna take forever to really notice the change. I thought that all the program was going to be was going to be too much to handle with work, but it's sliding into my daily lifestyle and just becoming it, and it's happening really fast, right? So Christian works as he works at a car dealership. He sells cars. He works 10-hour days, right? So he was super worried that it wasn't going to fit in his lifestyle lifestyle. He's going to have to do a lot of extra. But with metabolic priming, why it's so easy is you don't have to do all that cardio, right? You just have to follow macronutrients. And like, that's why it's so simple, and that's why it's so easy for career-driven, successful men, right? Like Mason, who he works actually a desk job. Steven works as an EMT, long nights, and he made this transformation. And then even my client Connor, right? 13 pounds up in his growing phase. He works nights at a MLB baseball stadium, right? I'm in a month, and I can't believe how much I've grown and how easy the whole plan is to follow. It's not like other programs I've bought where you get a PDF of workouts and a diet plan. Right? So the process is super, super repeatable and super simple, right? And here's even a really great transformation as well, right? My client Tristan, 1,300 calories more per day in a metabolic priming cycle. So in this, Tristan was eating like 1,400 calories and doing tons of cardio trying to lose weight, and he just simply couldn't, right? He was stuck, right? And no matter what he did, he couldn't do it. If he added a little bit more carbohydrates, he would spike in weight. Dude, he's eating 400 grams of carbohydrates right now. So if you're somebody who's scared to get above 50 grams of carbohydrates and you're scared to lose your abs, you're simply just going about it wrong. How nice would it be to be able to go out to eat with some friends, use my flexible dieting macro class, be able to eat within your calories, be able to eat more carbs, be able to eat food, and not have a poor relationship with food, right? So I actually have a client interview with Tristan, kind of how he feels. So I'm gonna kind of play this real quick, kind of show you how he feels.
I mean, if someone would have told you 6 months ago that you'd be eating 800 more calories, doing no cardio, and arguably probably would we say probably the best you've ever looked?
Yes, bro, 100%. I can actually say that. And it's crazy because I went from doing nothing but cardio, bro. I was cutting so many carbs and everything out of my diet, and I still could not just get below this plateau, and I just could not drop anymore. So it's crazy that I'm eating more 800. It's so crazy, bro. And I'm still lean. It's at first I was like, how is this possible? I'm one of those people where I can be hard-headed at times and think I know everything, but realistically I didn't, and that's why I was stuck in a plateau, and that's why I was like, you have changed my life so much, bro, seriously, for the better.
So yeah, Tristan actually runs him and his dad run a pool install company. So he works very physical job, very long hours, and this process was simply implemented into his life after he was stuck in that fat loss plateau, and he made this transformation possible right here. So I know the body of your dreams seems so out of reach without having to starve yourself and doing tons of cardio, but you're simply going about it wrong, and it's okay. I completely understand because I was in the exact same position at one point, but the thing is, you don't need to try another one-size-fits-all program. You don't need to try to cut more carbs or do more cardio. You just need to simply try what will work for you and what's personalized for you to help you reach your dream body, right? And so, going back to the metabolic priming phase in general, this process is very, very beneficial, and not only predictable way of raising your calories, getting more room within your calories to if you want to go in a fat loss phase, but it's also very repeatable, right? You can go through it multiple times, and every single time you go through it, you look better and better and better, right? So, for instance, I know that you're probably thinking right now, I don't have enough time. I have a full family, I have kids, I have a wife, and I completely understand that. And I understand why that you would think that you wouldn't have enough time. But take my client Wilmer, for example, right? We did a full metabolic priming phase and a full fat loss phase. He's 165 in both these, and he's 50 years old. He's 50 years old and he made this transformation, right? So I actually have a quick chat with Wilmer on how he liked his transformation. I'm going to play you real quick.
I was just lifting weights and thinking I was following, an app online about working out, but I didn't have the nutrition part of it as far as how many calories, proteins, carbs I should be eating. So I just kept looking the same and thinking I was going to get better and bigger, and it never happened, man, until I found you, This is the best I've looked in a long time. And at 50, I can't complain, man.
And you look good. You look good.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
What's the wife think?
Oh, she likes it. I think she's a little jealous.
So yeah, there's Wilmer's testimonial to as well, and like, you know, as you can hear, like his wife loves it as well. And so, you know, if you're somebody who your wife makes the decisions for you and like she doesn't think that you can actually have like a dream body, make sure she watches this video and show her what, you know, Wilmer said about his wife loving his body, right? Before we jump on the call. So anyways, to kind of go like more into things and kind of like break down like, you know, where I was at. So, you know, I've been through it. You know, I've been through the same thing. I was stuck in a fat loss plateau for a long time, tried numerous amounts of different things for a long, long time. And here's kind of like my progress, like, you know, scale. So like, for instance, like here's me, a total beginner. So like I said, why I don't work with like total beginners, because you simply just have other problems than like the people that I typically work with, like high level individuals and financially successful men. So like I was a total beginner, no discipline, no work ethic, doesn't have a job, vices, bad habits, but most of you are like right here. Like I would say most of you are right here, right? Where you eat healthy, you're highly motivated, you got a good work ethic, you're disciplined, you can follow a plan, you believe in yourself, you're hardworking, you have a successful career, and you're financially stable. But these are where you're going wrong, right? You're doing tons of cardio, you're starving, your relationship with food's terrible, has terrible energy, you hate the way you look, doesn't know how to track macros, you're lost, you're confused, you're trying new diets every couple months, you're scared of carbs, stuck in plateaus, trying new diets every month. And so like, for instance, like I've been there, like I was literally there. So like here's me when I first started my fitness journey. I was a little bit overweight, tried to go for a cut and like didn't get very far before I got skinny fat. I actually just cut my calories as far as I could. And then here's even me, like I cut them even harder and started doing like an hour of cardio a day, and I just got skinny. And like I was so unhappy with the way I looked. And not only that, but like I was just frail, right? Like, you know, people were asking me if I was okay because I like had like a borderline eating disorder because I was so scared of food, right? And then like here was me 2 months later, rebounded really bad, like gained a bunch of weight really fast because one, my metabolism was slow, and so like as soon as I add a little bit more food, you know, my metabolism just my weight just like skyrocketed, and I just bloated back up, right? And then here's me, you know, I think 6 months later, like I did it again. I thought I had it figured out again, right? But as you know, I didn't. And so like I got pretty lean right here, but look how skinny I was. I just lost all my muscle mass because what I was doing was simply just starving myself and doing tons and tons of cardio. And my energy was terrible. You know, I couldn't sleep very well. My relationship with friends and my family were like taking a toll. And like I was very, very unhappy, but I was lean, but like I still just felt terrible, right? So 2 months later, here's what happened again, right? The same process. Skyrocketed back, hit 225, and, you know, couldn't keep the weight off. So I was like, okay, like something needs to change. So what I do, I put my ego to the side a little bit, and I was like, okay, so what I did was I, you know, invested, you know, a bunch of money into, you know, programs for myself to learn a little bit more about it. So my dream body, like I got asked for help, got a mentor, followed a proven plan, had more confidence, better dating life, sustainable results, leader, less depression, better nutritional knowledge, better dating. I look good, feel good, a good relationship with food, and I have my dream body, right? And this process took 5 months. You know how long this took? This took 3 years. So this took 5 months simply because I got this, right? And like the thing is that you may have it 80% figured out. You may have it 80% figured out, but that 20% is what's going to be keeping you back, right? Going to be keeping you back. So why is this process of metabolic priming way more simple and way more beneficial, way more better than anything you've ever tried? Because it's a plan. It's a plan designed for you, right? And like think about like having to wake up every single day and following a plan, knowing that you'd make progress, right? Instead of trying what I did right here and like wasting years of my life to get to this, because when I simply could have just done this in the past, right? So I went through all of this and then simply just got the guidance and the correct inputs from somebody and made that transformation in 5 months when I simply could have just went from here to here, right? So now that you know how powerful having an actual blueprint that's designed specifically for you is, like how amazing is that? Like literally how amazing and simple would it be to just follow a proven plan and wake up every day and see results? How amazing would it be if like you didn't have to be scared of carbohydrates. You didn't have to like starve yourself and do tons of cardio to get to your dream body, right? Because like I said, 80% of you are right here, and who knows, like maybe like you'll figure it out. Like maybe but what if you don't? Like, what if you don't? What if you waste another 2-3 years of your life trying to figure it out, right? And that last 20% is simply just the information that you need with my metabolic priming blueprint to actually see good progress. And it's like super simple and super repeatable, right? Like metabolic priming phase, fat loss phase, metabolic priming phase, fat loss phase, like Devin right here, right? So like what I'm saying is that you can be stuck for that 80% like for a majority of your life and never actually see results, right? So like for example, my client Kevin, right? Dude, he not only owns his own business, he is a part-time worker at a auto shop. He has 5 kids, and he's a father and a husband, right? So he's 35 pounds down, 1,250 more calories per day. You know what he was eating right here? 2,100 calories. You know what he's eating right here? 3,400 calories, right? Simply, he just drowned out his metabolism over time, and we need to kick his body back into energy burning mode. And like he's eating more food, he feels better. He made this a lifestyle. He said, "This fitness community has shown me how to humble and cool people can be, and thank you for making it a lifestyle to help people like me." So like if you're somebody who like makes the excuse that you don't have time for your friends or your family, you're holding yourself back from your dream body, right? Like Kevin here, like he has 5 kids, a wife, and he works 2 jobs. And he still made this transformation because this process of metabolic priming is so simple. You don't have to do bunch of cardio. You just have to follow simple macronutrients that I give you and stick to the plan. Wake up every day, follow XYZ, what you need to do, and you will make progress, right? So you don't need to be stuck in a fat loss plateau ever again. Like, how great would it be if you woke up every single day to the sun rising, eating your breakfast instead of having to starve yourself till 2 to 3 to fit in within a certain amount of calories, right? So like even Kevin here, for example, like I have a great testimonial with Kevin, how he feels about eating more calories.
If I was to tell you 6 months ago, hey, you're going to be eating 1,200 more calories and you're going to be down 25 pounds, what would you have said?
I wouldn't have believed it, man. I would be like, how is that going to work? Like I said, I had gotten stuck, man. I had gotten stuck. I probably tried every single diet. I did keto. I did fasting, intermediate fasting. I did like the zero carbs, low carbs, and then I tried high protein. I was calorie deficits, like triple the amount of what a calorie deficit is. So I tried a whole bunch of different diets, man. I was doing cardio every day. I was doing heavy lifting. I was all over the place, man. I would do it for 1 month this diet, 1 month that diet, 1 month this, and that's and it wasn't changing, And then you come in and you're like, here, let's give you more food, and let's do it this way. And I was just like, what? I was stuck.
Yeah,
I was stuck, and I was like, that's when I admitted to myself, I'm like, you know what? I need, I need somebody who knows what they're doing.
So yeah, just like Kevin right here, like he was stuck in a fat loss plateau for a very, very long amount of time. And the thing is that like, he had to put his ego to the side and tell himself like, okay, I don't have everything figured out. Like I don't have the information for me. And that's why he made this transformation possible. So can you imagine like the life that you could live if you had the confidence to like take your shirt off in public, like take your shirt off the pool, like you had the better health, like for your friends and your family, like you owe it to yourself to like go out and get your dream body, right? And have the correct inputs to receive the correct outputs, right? Because like, I've been there, I've been right where you're at, right? And without the correct guidance and inputs, it could take you years. You could have 80% figured out all your life, but that last 20% is going to be what's holding you back. So if you don't implement this blueprint like my clients are, the one thing it is going to be costing you is your dream body. So what you're going to do is actually stealing that from yourself because you're simply just not taking the steps forward and actually getting the correct information the first time. So by using metabolic priming, like you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do tons of cardio. You don't have to be scared of food. It's a proven and a predictable way to lose body fat that many, many, many of my other clients, like Phil right here, 50 pounds down, eating 1,200 more calories per day. Hey man, I know only 4 weeks in, but I hit a new low today of down 20 pounds. Just want to let you know, man, I appreciate you, man. For real, I feel great, so much better than I normally do. Help me out. I just want to really hear that. So like 20 pounds in 4 weeks, because he just had the correct inputs. Like some of you guys haven't lost 20 pounds and kept it off ever. Right? Instead of like, and it should, like, honestly, like, I'm sorry, but it like should make you mad that like my clients like are eating way more food and they're weighing way less and they're doing less cardio and they're doing, eating more food, and like, it's okay. Like society has just taught you wrong. So society like will tell you that like the keto diets, the fasting, the intermediate fasting, that it will help you make progress, and it will, but it won't help you keep it off. and it won't help you make sustainable results, right? It'll be a quick fix, and it's tailored to beginners, not for the people that have been trying and are dedicated to seeing their dream body. So like there's probably like a bunch of things going through your mind right now. Like, you know, you probably think like, oh, I don't have time to do this. Like I'm too busy. And like, that's just not true, because it's like actually easier, right? I insert my metabolic priming blueprint into your life, and you just wake up with a proven, predictable system to follow. And then you can just wake up every day and start seeing progress very fast. So here's your options now. Like one, you can like follow another fad diet. You can search online like a one size fits all like program, or like, you know, get a PDF from your local trainer and try to figure it out on your own. But the thing is, it may take you years to actually try that. So every month that goes by that you aren't finding what works for you, that's another month that you could be seeing progress. So like even going into like the actual program, because you're thinking like this program is probably super hard, it's probably super complicated, and like it's literally not. So like, you know, within the program, I have like an app that like you signs into your phone, and like I track everything from there. And one, I give you all certain daily goals to hit with like off day macros and like even your macronutrients. I can even see what you eat during the day, so I can like consult you on like your digestion, how you feel, and I can even consult you on how to hit your macronutrients a little bit better. So I also have like planning out that I plan all my clients, because I'm very structured and very organized with all my clients, right? So, you know, I have the next 6 month of planning plan for Devin here, and then like I set his goals and habits every day as well, right? So within his training program, so like I said, within the metabolic priming phase, we really try to work on really building good muscle and increasing muscle volume, so that not only you have less surface area of body fat, but it makes you appear to be leaner. And so like I make all my training programs based on a 6-week mesosplit program, right? Which is very exercise science driven. And so that like you simply just log into the app and like you know exactly what you need to do. And I build it all customized. I build it all customized to you. And so like it's basically built around what you want to build in the gym. Like for instance, chest, like, you know, Devin wants to go to like a more chest focused program. He wants to build his chest. So I built him a chest based program, right? He logs into his app. He knows exactly how many sets you need to do, how many reps he needs to do. And there's an instructional video on literally exactly how to do it, right? So you don't have to worry about what you need to do in the gym. You don't have to be worried about what you need to eat, how many macros you need to eat. Literally, you can just wake up, not have to do a bunch of cardio, and simply just follow a plan to see your sustainable, predictable results. And then like even for like the information within the program, like I have tons and tons of personal coaching resources available for all my clients. Like, you know, even within like my grocery haul, pre and post workout nutrition, I'm having poor digestion, you know, how to integrate my FitnessPal with my own personal app so I can see your food. And then even within the program as well, like we have, you know, our mindset calls. We do group calls every week. And I have my clients for the first 4 weeks sign up with a one-on-one time with me to kind of talk to me more one-on-one for the first 4 weeks. So we make sure we can really nail our routine, and we can really make sure that we nail our macronutrients. So I also have like ebooks within the program as well for you guys, like the keys everybody needs, an alcohol guide. Like, so like if you will go out drinking, because, you know, I know that you guys are probably thinking like, I don't want to like restrict myself. I don't want to do, you don't have to restrict yourself. You just need more structure around it, and you need more planning, right? Like this ebook will teach you like how to like go out to a night of drinking and like stay within your calories and stay within your macros, right? Or like the keys everybody needs is literally an all-in-one training program over training and nutrition and everything you need to know. And then also even I have cookbooks. Like I have a high protein, low carb, vegan edition, and then like an all-in-one inclusive cookbook within the program as well, right? The Hack to Get Jacked cookbook, right? So all the personal coaching resources are available for all my clients, right? All my clients, and they all have access to this, and we all work together to do that. So along with that, like we have like our group chat that we take care of, and we like where we talk amongst ourselves, where we keep each other accountable. And so like that's a big part of the program as well, is like keeping each other accountable, like me making sure I keep you accountable, right? Because, you know, within this program as well, like you want a certain set of accountability to reach a certain set of goals, right? Like you want somebody to make sure that you stay on track so you can keep going at the same progress, so you can reach your goals in a certain amount of time, right? So the training program and like the accountability aspect is a really great part about my personal training program as well. But like for like the actual nutrition metric and your dream body timeline, like the thing is like you can pay for information in two different ways. You can pay for it in time, trying to figure out what will work and what won't. Or for like the career-driven men who know that like you have the correct guidance, come the correct inputs, you can simply just pay for that information and like you can get it right now and start seeing progress tomorrow. Because if you don't, you may sing the 80% for all your life, not finding out what's actually gonna be tailored to you, and maybe never even getting your dream body in the first place. Can you really like put a price on your dream body though? Like if you could pay somebody and like to absolutely have your dream body, like any amount of money, like would you? Like most people would. Like not many things are guaranteed in life, but I guarantee all my clients their dream body because we use a predictable system to do so. So like from here, there's really only two options. Like one, like you can keep doing what you're doing. You can keep trying what may or may not work. Or go out and try another fad diet or try another coach or a one-size-fits-all program. And it might work. It might work, but what if it doesn't? Because as I showed you in the training, like you could have 80% of it figured out, but that 20% is what's going to keep keeping you back. Or path B, where you simply click the link in the description, sign up for a time for us to talk a little bit more one-on-one, and I'll show you literally how to plug this entire process into your busy lifestyle so you can wake up every day with absolute clarity that you're making steps towards your dream body. So that way you'll never have to starve yourself again, never have to do tons and tons of cardio again, never have to be so frustrated that you're stuck in another fat loss plateau, and you can start making actual steps towards your dream body. Just like all of my other clients right here who are doing the exact same thing and seeing literally undeniable results within my program. So you owe it to yourself to achieve everything you've always dreamed of. And I would love to make that happen. Go ahead and sign up for a time, and I'll see you on the call.